Try this again. Looks like we have a volume this time. Last time I didn't. We're supposed to be live right now. It says we're live. Last time it said we were live, but then it wasn't actually going live. So, anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about 9/11, what, 22 years ago or something like that, and how we lost more than lives then. We lost a lot of freedom. And a lot of times we don't remember that, even though we were supposed to remember 9/11 and everything that went on. Apparently, um, we have short attention spans in America and very short memories. But I remember walking my dog on that day and lived in an apartment complex in Mesa. And my neighbor, she came out and asked me if I was watching the news. And I was like, no, why? Her husband was a recruiter, I think, for the Army. And so she was a little bit up on the news. I'm sure he called and said, turn on the TV. And so I sat there with my giant dog in her doorway watching, you know, buildings fall down and everything. And then later on, I remember, Bush talking the talk. We were all very happy and patriotic that we were going to get those people responsible. Later on, we find out that we didn't get those responsible, but other people. And we never got to the bottom of it and who really did it and why this happened to us. Well, later on, we've learned, but I remember Ron Paul making a comment about how we brought this on ourselves. And at the time, I was really kind of pissed. It's like, F you, Ron Paul. And I'm a fan. I've always been a Ron Paul fan. I voted for him. I wrote him in during the election every time he was kicked off the debate stage because nobody liked him. I did. But I was just kind of offended. It's like, what do you mean we brought this on ourselves? We're America. We're nice people. We don't do that. Now, 20 some years later, I learned that we do that. We do create problems. And it's pretty evident by looking at what's going on in the G20 and with the BRICS and the Belt and Road Initiative and all that, that we can see that our foreign policy lacks a lot of diplomacy and smart people. And it was going on then too, you know. And so we ended up in a war that we shouldn't have been in. They weren't going to come here. Well, maybe they could now because we gave them all that equipment, but it was just, terrorism. We lost all of our freedom through the Patriot Act and Homeland Security, which was funny because before TSA was created and all this strip searching of grandmas and little kids at the airport, we caught the shoe bomber, the underwear bomber, and so we were able to do that without this big bureaucratic bullshit called TSA and Homeland Security. So what we've lost really is more than lives. We lost freedom. I mean, tons and tons of freedom with the Patriot Act. And every day you can see more and more of it. The problems we see now with this whole J6 thing and, you know, whatever's going on, can't even say the right name of it or probably not even the right date, because Homeland Security. See, this whole thing metastasized from that point. You've lost all your freedom from that day. And going forward, you'll lose more and more and more. So it's hard to be upset. We did this to ourselves. And there were questions that were never answered, but we'll never know. Was there a conspiracy? Sure. A bunch of hijackers got on a plane and conspired to bring down the World Trade Center and Pentagon and actually Washington if they'd gotten away with it. That's a conspiracy. We kind of know who did it and who was in charge, and it wasn't Iraq. Um, but it was just we needed to make a lot of money and wrap things up in a neat little bow and Christmas present for Halliburton and Raytheon and Northrop Grumman. God. So I don't know why we didn't just go to Mexico because they had nothing to do with it either. But we could have went there because it's just right over there. Now that way is south, and from where I'm at, it's about 70 miles south. One of the bigger military bases is just right over there. So we could have just jumped across the border and spent $2 trillion building schools and roads and blowing up the cartel and making their lives actually better. But no, we had to go clear across the world and acting all big and bad and get our asses kicked. Really, actually, I mean, we lost that war. Let's call it a draw. Call it whatever you want. We lost. I mean, we lost lives. We lost money. We lost equipment. We lost respect. So I, I, I was shocked on 9/11 to watch that happen. I felt something bad was going to happen. I didn't know how bad it would be, but a lot of people I know have come back damaged and messed up, blown apart, screwed up. They have PTS and just all these traumatic problems. And then we have a government that's so into opioids and getting paid by Purdue, I guess, that our soldiers that actually are damaged that come back, um, they're just put on drugs. Just another drug user on the list of many for Purdue. And it's one of those drugs that I mean it's an opioid and people do get addicted and they fuck themselves up. I mean, I've had to take opioids for maybe a week when I hurt myself bad. That's fine. You just quit. You know why? Because it's a bad idea. My brother was on it for years from some back surgery and stuff, and he just finally weaned himself off. The doctors were like, "No, you need to up your medication. You need to do this. Don't just go cold turkey. You'll hurt yourself." All these lies and myths, and he quit. He's got 5 years supply of opioids. If the world ends, we can all get high and forget about it. So, you know, people's lives were ruined. Their families were ruined. And it was all because of why? Oh, people wanted to make money, kind of like the Cold War with Russia. See, they weren't really our enemy. We just need to, funnel a bunch of money into scare and fear and uncertainty. A lot of motivation in that. Fear and uncertainty will motivate people to do a lot of things, and it motivated the whole country to buy into this bullshit, just like COVID. Fear and uncertainty. Ah, it's the flu. Oh, yeah, I've had the flu before. No, but this is special flu. You need to go and get a shot. Oh, fucking great idea. Not, so I never got a flu shot my whole life. I didn't get a COVID shot because I was smart enough to read the science. The science, it was out there. You just had to read it. It's just like reading the Bible. It's out there, but you try to create your own interpretation of that and what that means because you can't let other people interpret things that are written down that will make or break your life, maybe your eternity, definitely your health and your salvation. I mean, I've been studying biochemistry for 7, 8 years now. I'm on a carnivore diet. Started out low carb, high fat. Got my inflammation, IBS, irritable bowel, under control by cutting back on fiber and plant-based food. And then the more I studied and read about biochemistry and Lineager's Biochemistry 101 college class, started learning that, there's ways to eat. So then I ended up going into keto because the ketogenic diet is very healthy for you. And now me and my wife are carnivore. Um, and so you have to interpret the science yourself. Just like with COVID, just like 9/11, you have to be able to think. We're Americans, we're good at that. We're good at thinking outside the box, figuring out the box, building a box, putting a lid on the box so we can think outside the box. We're pretty good at that shit. So we have, as Americans, become lazy when it comes to due diligence. And you know, what did the founding fathers say? Pray you keep your liberty. It's a hard fought battle, and you have to be vigilant, always vigilant. Well, it's the same thing with your health. Same thing with scriptures. It's the same thing with the bullshit the government's telling you. You have to be vigilant and learn and study and bounce it off of other people. And don't just believe it because somebody is louder than you about the Bible or louder than you about what really happened at 9/11 or louder than you and intimidating about health. It's just like, you know what? Blow me. I didn't get the memo from God. If you did, awesome. But I still need to read it for myself. Not going to buy the bullshit. So that's how we have to be. So here we are, 22 years later. It's 9/11. My heart goes out to those people and families that lost loved ones. It hasn't gone away for you. Apparently, everyone in New York has forgotten all about it because now we think we need more um, tyranny and control. Whatever, not going to go there. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that today on 9/11. Tomorrow is Tuesday. I think in one of my podcasts, my live one, I said that I would be going live on Tuesday. I'll probably do it about the same time around 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock when you're on your lunch. And if anyone listens to this and goes, no, Mark, do it at 4, or no, Mark, do it at 8, let me know. I have limited windows of time. So that's what we'll do. And we'll see how that works out. You see those little boxes there? I built those for my laser and then I put it on a stand. So now I can lift it up 4 inches at a time. And then I can put my rotary thing under there. So if I have just a small thing, I only got to go up 4 inches plus the gantry height. And then if I need to go up even high for a big tumbler like a Yeti or something like that, I can go up higher. I still need to go down to my shop and get a 3-inch hole bit to cut through my bed that I have under here. It's kind of like a Murphy type bed, and it has a box around it. And the motor that lifts this desk up and down sticks down about that far. It's a motor. It's about 3 inches round. And I need it to go down in there so I can get 4 more inches down because I'm limited for space here. I mean, not that I couldn't rip everything apart and do it my way. Anyway, I hope this gets out. And people think about, just the lies that they're telling us. I mean, watch Dope Sick or Painkiller, movies with, about, the oxycodone and what did they call it? It's an opioid. It's addictive. And the Purdue family made billions. They just lied. You have to watch that, and then you have to look at it and go, well, I don't believe that. They wouldn't do that. They're controlled by the FDA. Well, then I'm sorry. Leave the FDA. I'm really sorry for you. I've been eating, like I said, low carb, high fat. I've been eating high fat for 8 years, maybe 9 now. I'm 69 years old. I take no medication. I'm fine. My blood pressure's fine. Everything's fine. I feel fine. Wonderful. A lot of energy. Go do shit. Built this room. Added 1,600 feet onto my house. Just me and my wife. That's it. All the trusses that are up there that you can't see, we built those. Made big jigs, laid them out, built 20 of them here, 30 of them there, just built trusses, walls, framed it, built the stem wall. And that started when 2020, when COVID, it's the house that COVID built. Had a lot of time. So there you have it. I'm going to wrap it up. Um, hey, I see one person watching. Hey, um, if you can hear me and if the audio is okay, do a thumbs up in the chat. I think the chat's supposed to be open, so do that. That would be awesome. Share this around and remember that tomorrow I'm going to say between 11:30 and 1 we will be doing this again. I'm still having issues with my audio, but whatever. Let's just say private. Let's see audio. Let me see if I can just throw out an emoji here to my one viewer. There you go. Little little hand. Looks like they're gone. Oh well, whatever. Nobody loves me. Fine, I'll be okay. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Love you, all of you. Prepper guy. Tiatwaki, the end of the world as we know it. And still waiting because I've been a prepper since 1978 and the world has not ended yet. Talk to you later. Bye bye. Oh, yeah. Thanks for watching.